Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the video. The PlayStation Network is under DDoS. I've logged on to the PlayStation Network, or tried to log on to the PlayStation Network on my PS4. This is in UK date and time, by the way. It's 3:31 currently as of recording, August the 24th, which is a Sunday. And it's actually not letting me log in. It's saying the PlayStation Network is actually under maintenance. Sony are remaining quiet on this at the moment, but there's a group known as LizardSquad, and they are claiming responsibility for, well, basically bringing down the PlayStation Network. Now, if one visits their Twitter, which is twitter.com/LizardSquad, I'm going to give you a couple of excerpts regarding their tweets, certainly not all of them. They're saying to Sony, "You mad, bro? Sony is sinking into a pit again." Nice. I bet they're already running around their data center looking for reptiles. And they actually said nobody DDoS their website. There isn't a web server running on it, you tards. That's a quote. And someone asked them, "You call yourself hackers, throwing a large DDoS attack on servers isn't hacking. It's like clogging a toilet." And someone else, the latest response is, and I quote, "Sony, yet another large company, but they aren't spending the waves of cash they obtain on their customers' PSN service. End the greed." So I don't really think I need to explain what's going on here. I'm sure many of you can already probably read between the lines. And for the three of my viewers, I say that in a very kind way, but I imagine many of you who are watching this channel are probably reasonably tech-savvy. But to give you a very, very brief overview of what a denial-of-service attack is, or distributed denial-of-service attack, to give it its full name, it's basically an attempt to bring down an online server by pretty much overwhelming it with requests, basically from traffic. So generally speaking, you have like a large network of other computers that will start sending loads and loads of requests to your target machine. So in this case, obviously, Sony's network is getting pillaged. So there are two concerns which immediately are popping up for people. One, if you've got a Sony PlayStation account, it might be a very good idea to change the password the moment you log back in. Now, I will say I don't particularly have huge amounts of faith in Sony when it comes to their honesty. Last time, they did take them quite a while to admit, "Oh, hey, by the way, guys, your credit cards might have been compromised." Does anyone remember that little issue? Now, I'm not saying this is the case now. I'm just reminding you that if you do happen to have your credit card on file, or your whatever card, you know, even your debit card, you might want to take necessary steps. I'm not saying to rush out and panic and phone your bank and oh my god, but, you know, just take your necessary steps. I check your bank account a little bit more often than maybe you would, and change the password as well. Maybe any associated passwords if they're very similar. So for example, let's say you have the password of potato on your PlayStation account and you have the password potato on your email account, change the email account password. Now you cannot do so on the Sony network, as far as I'm aware, right this second, simply because it is getting ravaged. The second point I'd like to make regarding this is it's not confirmed by Sony yet. So, in other words, the group might just be taking advantage of the lull. It might just be a simple case of the PlayStation PSN maintenance has been brought forward. Although, I have to say I'd be well surprised. I'm unsure about in the United States, but in the United Kingdom it is a bank holiday tomorrow, and this weekend, of course, well, it's Sunday. I don't think it takes a particular genius to figure out that if you're a games company or a console manufacturer and you do maintenance on pretty much a prime time, I imagine, you know, 3 PM in the UK time, and I imagine many of you in the United States would be waking up around now as well, obviously depending on what side of the country you are, especially as it's a Sunday, but I imagine many of you are probably crawling out of bed and getting ready to kind of do a little bit of gaming, particularly as we have had a couple of rather large releases, for example, Diablo Online. It's not particularly good. What about the ethics of hacking, or the ethics of denial of service? Well, you see, I don't know what the beef they have with Sony. It seems that they're not very happy with Sony's network protection, which is a bit of a problem. Sony are a little guilty of that, so I can kind of see where they're coming from in that respect. The problem is this more punishes the consumer than it does Sony. Because the bottom line is, yes, Sony aren't exactly happy about this because it gives them bad publicity, but at the same time, from the perspective of consumers, if you're wanting to play online, for example, let's just say that you've got, you want to play Killzone online, and you're scheduled to do so with your buddies, well, effectively you're screwed. And let's face it, Sony haven't exactly had the best, let's say, attention recently. Yes, they're selling extremely well in the press. Yes, they have the faith and the trust of gamers right now. But one issue, of course, is yet another bug was discovered on the PlayStation, which some people were reporting actually completely trashed their PlayStation 4. In fact, I think it was some users on Reddit, and I believe NeoGaf, but don't quote me on that because I didn't do the video on that. Amata did in the morning, so if you want more information, check out the channel. I think her video was called, what was it called? PS4 CE 33945-4 glitch. You could just also search for debilitating PlayStation 4 bug now fixed, and it will pop right up on the channel if you need more information, or you can Google it, whatever you need to do. So yeah, not the best news maybe in the world for Sony, but hey, it's something, right? They are, but no doubt, working on it, and how long it takes them, who the hell knows. Hopefully not too long for those who are affected. Anyway, I'm going to get going. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, or maybe not enjoyed the video, depending if you are one of the gamers who wants to play online right now. But hopefully anyway you'll give this a thumbs up and a share and a comment and a hug, and I shall see you, well, soonish. Take care. Bye for now.